parents that were immigrants, some of even undocumented, depending on where people came from. My grandparents were undocumented, but when they came here, they did not get $7,000 per month per person.
How much? Did he say 7,000 per month per person? It's got to be a mistake. But then he says it again here. Take a look.
I think that we should be open to helping people that putting aside $51 million in a budget of a city that's billions of dollars in debt that cannot even fund their pensions, and have people leaving the city of Chicago and businesses leaving the city of Chicago, that we cannot afford to have $51 million spent. That doesn't mean no money should be spent, but $7,000 per person per month is excessive.
$7,000 per person. Let's take a look.
And we expect the city, the state, and everyone to provide us humanitarian aid. That's right. We expect the city.
Uh-oh, here we go again. All right, Eve and the serpent back again. When I initially watched this, I was kind of pissed off, like, damn, these people got $7,000. You know, then I discussed it with a brother, and he corrected me. He said, you really believe they're going to give Jake $7,000 a piece? And when you look it up, it's not they don't get $7,000. They're estimating that that's the cost per person per month. I have no idea, you know, what they're doing for these different people that have to come here. But a couple of points I want to make. Number one, scriptures say Judah and Ephraim, Judah and Israel basically are in captivity together. All right. Basically, we've been brought here for the elect to be sealed, for the elect to come together, but everybody else isn't necessarily going to do that. And what Esau Edom did, they've been working on destabilizing Central and South America since the 80s, you know, going way back. You had a lot of Edomites flee down there, who were in charge of those different governments. And they've invested, you know, billions of dollars in drugs and weapons. They're keeping that region destabilized to fuck Jake up. Some of these places you got Jake digging up their relatives to take their jewelry off and their gold teeth to try to sell something. Breaking into the zoo to eat the animals. You know, which, you know, if you ate the giraffe, it'd be lawful. But that was a joke, but for real. All right, so Esau Edom destabilized it. Then they have these two knuckleheads who's sitting here lying about how much these people are getting. They're not getting a $7,000 check. They're not getting $7,000 cash. And even if they did, you know what I'm saying, that's not your business. All right, which Jake has the argument, well, shit, why do we get that? Well, look, at the end of the day, true reparations are going to be given out from the elect on down. And that's what we're here for. All right, anytime you see a black woman next to what looks like an Edomite, because he did have a little bit of swagger, you know, when he was talking. But anytime you see a black woman next to what looks like an Edomite, you got to double check and triple check what's being said. All right, Sirach 10 and 3. All right, because I wanted to link this with the things that have been coming out in Israel, talking about we don't need to apply wisdom. All right, you got these guys who are generals and top men, and my men, you know what I'm saying, no cowards. If it's 4 and 50, we're gonna fight to the death and try to provoke, you know, just idiots talking about their generals. Sirach 10 and 3. An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. All right, and such is the case with all those different countries, Brazil, Nicaragua, Venezuela, all those different places, Colombia, where you're now seeing a lot of people come up here, all right, because ultimately it's the Lord, all right, bringing them up So they could be marked for destruction or they could be marked for salvation. All right, hey, when these nuclear missiles hit, when the shit hits, yeah, a lot of people from Mexico too. But when all the shit hits the fan, shit, a lot of the Caribbean and Mexico and all that stuff, it's gonna be destroyed. All right, a lot of that stuff is gonna be destroyed. You know, millions of missiles. That's gonna really fuck some shit up. All right, that impact is gonna shake the whole earth. That's how great it's gonna be. So you know it's gonna shake up the region. Okay, the water's gonna be fucked up. The everything, the air. All right, the animals are gonna flee into different locations. The impact, you know. They say, you know, one nuke, you know, has an EMP effect. So who knows what the effect will be, you know. So that's why you have a lot of people coming here, and you know, that's what happens when we're in the hands of our captor. There are no land rights. You don't get to decide who can come into your neighborhood. You know, anybody can move in. You know, we're pilgrims with no continual city, unwalled villages. Motherfuckers can just sneak over, sneak through, whatever. All right, hey, an unwise king destroyeth his people. Those people who were leaders down there, whether they were Jake who sold out, or it's an Edomite who's a terror who looks like Jake, or just a straight Edomite or whatever, unwise. You got a nation full of resources. You got all the indigenous people, you know, living in huts and shacks and living in low estate, basically. All right, and then the Edomites living real good in mansions, in safety, with private security. All right, a lot of wicked leaders amongst our people. All right? This is a time of the year where you're gonna see a lot of people pop up and vote for me. You know, no real agenda, no real plan, just trying to get paid. Right, verse 2, as the judge of the people is, so are his officers, and what manner of man the rule of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. All right, and so if the judge is wicked, his officers are wicked, all the people in the city, they're going to be under the same vibration. All right, for these different camps, if the heads are going off, what I notice is the men just follow blindly. They don't question anything. They don't, you know what I'm saying? Verse 1, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. And the thing about it is, dealing with Israel, if somebody tells you, and you got 4 people with you that pull up on some guys who are linked with being law enforcement, and they got 30 guys, you 4 on 30, what are you, dumb? All right, but somebody who doesn't give a fuck about you, unwise, they don't want to use wisdom. Wisdom, we don't use wisdom around. Yeah, they don't want to use wisdom. They're gonna get you. They can get you killed real easily. They can get you in a jam real easily. All right, that's why we're here to teach the word, man. We're here to be fishers of men. Bring forth fruit that is meet for repentance. And the reason why our nation was even divided like it is, because that's exactly what this is about, man. And Jake is territorial. You know, you are supposed to have your own lands, but like I said, man, in this condition, you know, they build house to house. They, you know, you do the best you can. This is 1 Kings 12. And I'm going to get right to the point. Because at the end of the day, we're all supposed to be one nation. You know, us being divided, that was never, you know, it was prophesied, but it was, you know, we were all supposed to be one. It's not supposed to be any divisions. All right, that's why the breaches are being repaired. 1 Kings 12. And 12. So Jeroboam and all the people came to Rehoboam the third day, as the king had appointed, saying, come to me again the third day. And the king answered the people roughly, and forsook the old men's counsels that they gave him. And the old men basically counsel him let me see it. Let me just quote it. In verse 6, in verse 7, and they spake unto him, saying, if thou wilt be a servant unto this people this day, and will serve them, and answer them, and speak good words to them, then they will be thy servants forever. All right, so if the king was not as in like a servant, as in, you know, you do a manual labor, but the king is there to serve his people. All right, the king is there to serve his people. He's there to answer them, you know, like you said, speak good words to them. And when you look up that word good, which is tawab, good, pleasant, agreeable, a good thing, benefit, excellent, pleasant, agreeable, good understanding. All right, so he was supposed to speak to his people with wisdom. But he forsook the counsel of the old men which they had given him, and consulted with the young men that were grown up with him, and which stood before him. And I'm going to jump right to it. You know, you can read the whole chapter. Verse 14, and spake to them after the counsel of the young men, saying, my father made your yoke heavy, and I will add to your yoke. My father also chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scorpions. Wherefore the king hearkened not unto the people, for the cause was from the Lord, that he might perform his saying, which the Lord spake by Ahijah the Shilonite unto Jeroboam the son of Nebat. So when all Israel saw that the king hearkened not unto him, the people answered the king, saying, what portion have we in David? All right, the house of David. Neither have we inheritance in the son of Jesse. To your tents, O Israel, now see to thine own house, David. So Israel departed unto their tents. But as for the children of Israel which dwelt in the cities of Judah, Rehoboam reigned over them. And that's confusion, man. You got a whole nother king set up. All right. And Esau has been playing on that ever since, we got here. All right. Like in Chicago, you had Judah, Benjamin Levi move up from the south. And then later on, Northern Kingdom, they would migrate up here, even though this was all their land originally anyway. But we see Salak, and then, they would move up here, and, of course, they couldn't move amongst Esau. They moved amongst Judah, then there was envy, jealousy. There was a lot of bloodshed. There was a lot of killing, and gang shit coming from Esau. Okay, when you look at the term drill, that was originally a term coined by Esau. Right, to drill, to shoot. Right, then later Jake, would formulate their own shit. Right, Judah would go into that Moorish science shit, and then those gangs would form from the grounds of that. All right. Northern Kingdom, they would go into idolatry and witchcraft, and their gangs would form from that. And that's what happened when we don't have that covering. Didn't have that safety net. We were blown forth, with everything. You just following any old thing. All right? They've been trying to do that, play us against each other. All right, all the movies, what's this? Creed 3. Black Panther 2. They try to when it's time to talk about reparations, they try to do that too. Well, we'll give you reparations, but then we'll have to give them and then Judah gets, that's why it says Judah will not vex Ephraim and Ephraim will not envy Judah. All right, the back and forth, the who gets what, a lot of places up here, Judah, was on some bullshit with the kingdom of Ephraim, all right, because Esau Esau has that caste system, and he'll treat Ephraim a little better because he has more access to their women. All right, they'll give him more access to their women, so he'll treat them better. So Judah get mad and want war with Ephraim. All right, because Judah will still be the lowest on that totem pole. All right, they can't necessarily play the same game, and you have a lot of tares amongst all the tribes. All right, and this is all done by divisions. Shit, the Northern Kingdom, with the warrior tribes in it, like I said, a city will be inhabited. Because it talks about that in Revelation. It talks about, first it mentions the woman with the 12 stars, mentioning all of Israel. But when she gets to the dragon, it's only 3 stars, okay? Because they sailed to the other side of the world. They said, we out of here, gone. All right, which you thought you was escaping, but you sailed right to Babylon. You sailed right to the place that was going to be judged. All right, the hot spot. So there's no getting away. All right, there's no leaving. There's no getting around it. All right, Judah fled into the wilderness. The woman fled into the wilderness. Guess what? You was brought over here too. All right, and if all the tribes would have been together against, let's see, the Persian Medes, the Greeks, the Romans, you know what I'm saying? Things might have went differently. Who knows? All right, but it wasn't meant to be. It was meant to play out how it was meant to play out. That's why the Lord said, I go to them of a different flock. All right, so we had to come over here. Prophecy had to be fulfilled. We had to be scattered across the 4 winds of the earth. All right, we had to go into captivity together. Like the elder Malcolm would say, Ephraim, the kingdom of Ephraim, they got the first of it, and Judah got the worst of it. All right, her treacherous sister. We all got whooped. All right, and all of this is why there are divisions. To this day, divisions. All right, but you have some people who can see through that. I was talking to a Issacharite lady, and I said, she says, you live around here? I said, I said, we don't, y'all don't let us live over here. She said, no, it's not like that. I know there are good people and bad people amongst all nations. And that's correct. And basically what the Lord is going to do, he's going to pull out his elect, all right, his chosen from wherever they're at. And the 2/3 is going to be destroyed. All right, it's the perfect plan. All right, and it told you too, going back to what I was talking about being a head, because when you're the head of a church, you're responsible for the body. You might be the head, but shit, the body need a strong back, man. You need strong toes. You need strong legs. You need ears. You need different parts of the body. All right. Hey, scripture say that what divisions cause a kingdom to fall. So we didn't. It's not just about the head. It's about the whole kingdom. Shit, of the elect, of the top of the elect. It said 12,000 of Judah, 12,000 of Benjamin, 12,000 of Joseph, 12,000, 12,000. Hey, it's all the same number. They say Jeroboam, he said a rough speech, and that's another thing too, man. These guys get on the microphone talking crazy, and now their men are hearing this. Now they gotta act accordingly because your leader done said some dumb shit, and then said something that's gonna get you in the jam. Man, we don't have to apply wisdom. We could do what we want. Damn. This dude is somewhere sitting up with sunglasses on the couch. I gotta go out in the elements, That's why it says, man, it talks about offending a city in Sirach 9. It says, a man of ill tongue is dangerous in his city, and he that is rash in his talk should be hated. Got a lot of rash talkers in Israel. All right, hey, and if you find yourself under somebody doing all that online, making threats and talking about not using wisdom, you need to get away from that person. All right, verse 15, let thy talk be with the wise and all thy communication in the law of the Most High. So, and that's exactly what's going to happen, man. An unwise king destroyeth his people. A bad ruler, he's gonna fuck everybody up. That's what's going on now, man. People are mourning. Mad as hell. All right, but I bet you this. I bet you them people, number one, ain't getting $7,000 a month, and I bet you that money's going right into Esau's pockets. I bet you that. But hey, Lord willing, this is edifying. And that's why elders are worthy of double honors. Because you have men who have exercised their senses, they're merciful. They've gone through the things that you're going through, and they understand. And that's what it's about, man. That's why Paul and Peter were highlighted for that. Different men were highlighted for that, for their care of the body. You have weaker, some people might be weaker, some people might be stronger. But it's all coordinated by the Lord. So, Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Kakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing the truth across the four corners of earth, risking your life to do so. All right, and we see everybody is being gathered up. And may the Lord keep his spirit upon me. Shalom.